oneness, oneness, oneness. Let's talk about gender war. Male versus female, female versus male. And it's very, very subtle. It's a civil war in people's households, in their environments. They are fighting against each other because this is very ancient what's happening, okay? You have to look at it like this. I've been talking about this too for a few people. At one time, the women used to rule this planet, okay? Nothing but women ruling. They got to the point where they got consumed with their ego and they start misusing their power, right? With men. So basically what took place was now the men, well, it's over, but the men have been ruling, misused their power to the women. So now it's shifting back. But what people don't understand is you have to go into this like a balancing dynamic. Because if you think of just male, female, female, male, it'll just keep going over and over and over. It's like an energy of like, I'm going to pay you back for what you did to me. And this is what everyone is doing. Instead of letting it go and saying, okay, what part did I play in this? Okay, what part did I play in this? And let go of what's triggering me inside. People are constantly going in this loop, okay, of this gender war. And the reason why I say this is because I'm like, I see all these men and women that I know personally that all got all this money. They got houses, they got boats, they got all these things, right? But they don't have nobody in their life that's really significant, okay? It's like they're chasing something that they already are, because we are money, we are abundance. What you see is an offshoot, is just a reflection of what's going on inside, okay? But it's the energy of like, chase this, chase that, chase this. But you will never reach satisfaction by chasing material objects, by chasing money, by chasing whatever you want. And I've talked about this when I lived in Atlanta. I know people, you talk multi-millionaires, okay? Billionaires, okay? Athletes, entertainers, celebrities, never satisfied because they still are not home. You have to go home within yourself. Heal what's ever triggering you so it won't reflect back on the outside. And you have to get out this mantra of saying women ain't no good and men ain't no good, because whatever you put out will be a reality. So you have to stop this loop. And I see it's going back to that, going back to this same energy of one over the other. And you'll never find peace in that. You know, you will never find peace with picking one side, because we are electromagnetic beings, okay? And it takes two sides. It don't take one side. That's like having a battery in your car with just the positive side or the magnetic side without the electric side. You get what I'm saying? It won't ride. It won't properly function because you are still dealing on one side of this polarity in this dimension. So we have to find peace. This is why the ancient queens, you see these ancient queens when you go to their temples, okay? You see the man and the female side by side. You don't see one in back of the other, one in front of the other. You see them holding hands. You see them hugging each other side by side, because they understand the polarity and the balance of existence. So we have to get out this gender war. I remember brother Bobby Hemmett, beautiful brother. He made a video called Babylonia Love and Sex. Most powerful video I ever seen. And this video was about why people can't come together. He said it took them 10 hours. I think it was only 3 hours long, 2.5, 3 hours long. It took them 10 hours to literally film it because they got so much resistance from the spiritual algorithms. The energy didn't want him to put this out because this is a masterpiece. This is his best video he ever put out. And he was breaking down the history of why it's such a war to separate people from love, okay? Because love is the highest frequency, but everybody's fighting it because a lot of times they feel like they've been hurt, or they don't want to go all the way in because what if you leave me? Vice versa, men and women. You get what I'm saying? So we have to be true and honest with ourselves. What do we really want? If we want to be in a relationship, if we really want love in our life, we must forgive and let go. And understand that no one, once you get out your way, then you're free, and then everything comes together. And this is how we used to rule this dimension. We understood the balance of life. We understood both. Just like this earth is magnetic, right? It's magnetic, but the sun is electric, okay? And it takes the sun to come down to the earth. The earth absorbs the rays of the sun. This is why you call your sun, okay? The soil absorbs the magnetic side to give you fruits and vegetables to live. So we must be honest with ourselves. We must understand the spiritual side. And also, I learned this when I was in Kemet, when I was in Egypt, that in DC, they have a stellar in the basement of Isis and Osiris. Anybody knows the story of Isis and Osiris, this is the war that's been going on because their love was very divine, and their love balanced the whole land of Egypt, the frequency of it, okay? And the whole war was to fight. He was jealous, so fought his brother and killed him because he was jealous of the relationship that he had with Isis. This is what you see running rampant, is jealousy and envy, okay? And this is why people can't go to higher levels, because they're still stuck in their personal life and they're not dealing from their cosmic self, okay? They may say, oh, everything is beautiful and all this, it's all about love and spirituality, but they are still stuck. They are still, trust me, I know, they are still stuck in their lower self. I don't care how much spirituality they're saying, they are still angry. And that anger is opposite of joy. That anger stores in the liver, and it's called liver because you live when you're dealing with joy, okay? So we must really be honest with ourselves. We must look at not the enemy outside, but look in your own personal life. Look in your own personal house and see, is it a quiet war that's taking place, and why things are not in harmony and symmetry. This is because this is ancient, and it's always a thing going on, which is coming from the ego mind now. It's coming from the subconscious ego mind to be on top and rule and pay the person back that did you wrong, instead of breaking this loop in this cycle and really living according to the cosmos, because it's just a lesson down here that we must learn. So I just want to share this with you, and I don't want to say this is, like I said, this is an ancient thing going on. It's very quiet, it's very subtle, but I notice it by sitting down with all the people I sit down with. It's like this thing. It's like they may have all these things, but they're not at peace with themselves, and they know something is missing. But it's like the part of forgiveness is the hardest part that people want to deal with. So I would just say forgive yourself, forgive them, let go. It's time to not go into a loop, but it's time to rise and go up. It's like spiraling, but it's time to go out of that spiral and keep elevating. Okay? Just wanted to share this with you. Give me your comments on what you know, what you think, because I know what I'm saying. And I've been in this quote unquote conscious, I don't want to say conscious community, but I used to spend time with these people that's big now in this conscious community thing. Okay? And I know just by going to the lectures, I'm saying back in the 90s, it was either one gender or another gender, but it was never balanced. It was never equal. So we got to get out this ego mindset and stop trying to control each other and live in harmony. This is where we tap into our power and our peace. All right, family. Love you. Love and light. Peace.